Yo, what's up guys? New video talking about the new events that we pretty much just had, like they just popped up. So there's a bunch of them which will replace the Jasun event. We don't have a new Jasun event, which I'm actually somewhat surprised about because I kind of expected that we would have the Akamir event or some of the other events because those are very useful towards Seal, which we will get next week. So this week, no content update, but more of just a event kind of update, that kind of stuff. So yeah, the good events are kind of gone, which is kind of sad. But instead, we got a bunch of other events. We have this one. We can get the bunny, which I think most people already have. This is not the same bunny that we got from the pre-register. I'm not entirely sure. But this one doesn't matter that much. This event, on the other hand, is it anything good? I'm not sure. It's just something you can probably pretty easily clear and then just get a bunch of free rewards. Like, it's nothing too special, but there's a few stages of it. And with this one, apparently, you get like the Hark Transmog. It is a something, it is something. And then we have this event, the Candy event, which I just did some testing for, which I'll talk about in a second. But this event's actually pretty good. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this event is pretty good. And I'll also let you know where you should get those, what you should do for them, and also what you should buy with them. So first of all, where do you get them? Well, you get them from a bunch of things, including creature hunting, gathering, mining, and opening chests. A good place to get them, besides this thing, which I will also show in a second, is probably AFK monster hunting, but also since we can do the auto mining right now, I think mining is mining or gathering in general is pretty good. Actually, something that I wanted to test, if Hero Area drops these things as well. The answer is no. Hero Area does not drop them. At least I've been farming this for 4 minutes and I didn't get any. So either the drop rate is insanely low, so it's not recommended to go here, or they just don't drop it. So for that reason, you actually have to go back for AFK farming in regular area. Is that bad in all honesty? Not really, because Hero Area also doesn't drop these cores. So you're gonna have to go back to the normal area for farming there at some point anyway. So this event, I would definitely do your like boss killing kind of stuff in here, which we have, like, of course, this boss coming up in a few minutes. Wait, which one was it? This one, Florence buff. We have the one coming up later. Definitely still do all of these bosses, but AFK farm definitely in like normal area, because it is just a lot more worthy to get these things in. Also, since we can do 2000 auto mining right now if you have the summon pass and 1000 if you don't, I think, like, I was like myself on the point at some point, it's like, oh, these pickaxes just get so expensive. I'm not even sure if it's worth it to mine like everything all the time. With this event out there, I would definitely say it's worth it to mine, and also expect all of your mining ores and that kind of shit to deflate in price even more, because then everyone starts auto mining and these things become very cheap. Like all of the things, like you can already see if you go over here, if you buy, for example, let's just type in ore. Wait, does that too many results? Yeah, okay, makes a lot of sense. If we just go to the crafting things over here, we have, for example, 400, 460, 530. Man, these things, I remember that this was like 1.7k at some point. Like, holy shit, these things are worth fucking nothing. So yeah, is it even worth to mine if there's not an event, that kind of shit, like the 2000 mining? My opinion, I think they overdid it with 2000 mining. I would have been fine if they did like 1000 mining for summon pass and 500 mining for no summon pass, but apparently a lot of people were like, no, save the free-to-play people. I think this kind of ruins it for free-to-play people, because, well, straight down, this is so dirt cheap that it's just, like, it's just way too cheap. And how I got my stuff as free-to-play, my crystals as free-to-play before, was sending the lizard to get materials that were expensive to sell it for a hilt to get my crystals. That is pretty much ruined by everyone is saying like, oh no, but the free-to-play can't mine anymore. Yeah, now the free-to-play can also mine, but they are mining towards like no use. So good job on that one, guys. Like, I don't know, like I heard so many people, also streamers and that kind of stuff, and YouTube makers, or not YouTube makers, but YouTube content creators and stuff like that, like, yo, no, but the free-to-play cannot mine anymore. It's like, dude, I was free-to-play in NA for I don't know how long, and I never mined a single fucking thing. I still got my Ray Hilt, I still got my crystal. Why? Because I sent the lizard to get expensive shit. Now he sent the lizard and he comes back, it's like, here, you're trash, man. It's like, oh, thanks, man, can't even sell that. Like, Normally I was selling like Cobalt for like, what, 7, 8k in NA or some shit. Here's like 3.5. It's worthless, man. Same for like these, man. You can't send the lizard to get your shit anymore. Well, there's still a few that you can kind of, like Branches still has like decent price, Leaf has decent price. So if you're free to play, like sidetracking from whatever the event is, if you're free to play, send the lizard to get this one and this one probably. That will also deflate the price if everyone starts doing that, but whatever. That is probably your best way to get rehealed and Ever Crystals. But besides the notes, okay, the mining, Aerodome mining is actually pretty legit for this event. What else can we do beside that? Pretty much everything that is Path of Growth related. So training, adventure, subjugation, all three of them count towards getting candy. The Essence dungeon is not in here. So what you could do is say like, okay, I use all of my Path of Growth tickets right now. I save all of my Essence tickets, so all of my Kairos tickets, and then I wait for my Kairos tickets for the next event. Because what I've noticed is like, we have 1 or 2 weeks events for Kairos tickets, and then we have 1 or 2 weeks that are more focused on Path of Growth tickets. So sometimes they count both, but it's very often that one counts more than the other. Like the previous one, Kairos counted more than Path of Growth. Therefore, I recommended everyone to do Path of Growth. Also, or the Kairos. Also, the Lucky Bingo also only counted for Essence tickets, or the Kairos tickets. So in this case, I would recommend you to save your Essence tickets, your Kairos tickets, and just do Path of Growth tickets, because those actually count on this. Including repeat tickets and also participating in like gathering and mining and that kind of stuff events. So definitely if you're free to play, you don't want to miss out on like any of those events. And keep in mind, you can do an event like, for example, the fishing event. You can do that 3 times a day because you can do it on all 3 different of the main characters. Something to keep in mind. But yeah, then we get a bunch of candies, and then the big question is, what do we buy with those candies? Because we got a whole bunch of stuff there, like Transcendent Scroll, Legendary Scroll, Mystical Scroll. We got some Essence of Magic, Breath of Lives, Restore Stones, Durability Restore Stones, Sky Stones, and Gold. Well, if you see the prices below here, I think things are very out of order here for some of the prices of exchange. So let me tell you what I recommend you to buy. You can do something else, of course, it's totally allowed. But this is what I would recommend you buy. First of all, Transcroll. Simple one. That's like without a doubt, very simple choice. I would say Legendary Scrolls and NMS are pretty decent value too. They're not too bad. Actually, they're pretty good value. So I would definitely get the 3 scroll types. Afterwards, it's more of like a choice. Okay, what do I want to go for? Do I want to get more Essence of Magic, Breath of Lives, these things, or Sky Stones or Gold? Well, as you probably noticed right now, you're getting pretty low on gold. You need gold for everything. For crafting, like alchemy, that kind of stuff, but also awakening your units, everything needs gold. Answer, however, is do not go for gold. I'm not sure if this is a typo or anything, but this is the worst exchange rate you can probably get in this whole game to get gold. It's absolutely horrendous. Like 5k Sky Stones, which are relatively harder to get in pretty much every content, compared to divided by 5 for gold? Yo, no way. This is the biggest scam I've seen since I don't know when, man. This is fucking a scam trade. Do not go for the gold here. We have then 4 other options left. This one I wouldn't say is that bad of an option for 300, but still, that's somewhat pricey, because if you want to do a complete restore of a weapon that is 6-1, you need 10 of those, so that is 3k of that stuff already. That's quite some. For 3k, you could also buy Sky Stones, which sounds pretty nice. Breath of Life, however, out of the picture. Don't get Breath of Life on those. Also scam trade, because Breath of Life you just get from handing in 3-star pieces. 2 Breath of Lives, very simple. Then Essence of Magic. To be honest, especially with the last event that we had, I think everyone has been doing quite some Kairos. You probably don't need these all too much. But I feel like it's still a fair trade. Like 500 for those, for 300 of those. That's not that bad of a trade. If you keep in mind that you only get 14 per Kairos dungeon, that is like 2 Kairos dungeons right away in just one trade. So the 3 options here are the Essence of Magic, Durability Restore Stones, or Sky Stones. Personally, I will go for Skystones, because I think Skystones 500 for 5k is probably a pretty good trade. That's not something you're going to see all too much. And Skystones is also something you can't really have enough of. Like maybe, currently I'm stacking 1.3 mil Skystones. I had at some point 2.6 mil. And I also, after I did a whole bunch of Naraka weapons, I went down to all the way to like 600k or so. This is pretty nice to get like 5k per like trade. And the moment we get 6-star runes, from what I've heard from the people in NA, you're gonna need a lot of Skystones to get these these runes to 6-star as well. The 6-star runes to plus 12, I mean. That costs a lot of Skystones, so definitely something you want to stack up on is Skystone. Personally, for me, I would say either Skystones or Essence of Magic or the Durability Restore Stones. Those are probably the best things to get from that. Are there any other events? Oh yeah, we also have this event, which you definitely don't want to miss out on, because we have, at the end, always a Devilmon, but you also have this material, which is also pretty useful. Once again, if you get this material, do not use them yet until you have 6-2 weapons. I made like a whole video about like gear and that kind of stuff. Totally recommend you to watch that. We'll leave it as first link in the description. Why not? With that, it's just pretty much all of the events we have. Somewhat mediocre. Like, I was kind of hoping for like an Akamamir event, or even like the Platy event or Charlotte event. Like all of these events that NA already had for getting extra units. But for as much as they boosted our server on so many occasions, we had like a worse combination of the Bastet event into the Chasun event. We skipped the Akamir event because the NA server at some point had like a week of overlap of the two like main events of getting units. So they had Bastet event overlapping with Akamir event. Can you imagine like how much worth it is for your Path of Growth tickets and everything? That's just insane. So yeah, for that we're getting the event slower right now than NA was getting, which is somewhat interesting, like especially if we are the server there to catch up and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure when they're going to do Akamir event. I'm not entirely sure when they're going to do Charlotte event or Platy event. So there's a whole bunch of things that I'm not sure about. However, you probably have seen it. We are going to get the first collab for Global. It is the second collab for NA and Korea, because they already had a collab with a Korean manhwa, as they call it, which was Tutorial Tower or something, which someone just explained me it's like solo leveling but slightly different. Okay, could be. But yeah, we're going to get the One Punch Man collab, which looks pretty dope. I've seen some of the videos. If you want to see stuff about that or just keep on track with that, join my Discord. We mostly talk about everything that's new. Also, like if there's any codes or that kind of stuff, join my Discord. It's also in the link down below. And yeah, that collab looks pretty dope. And I'm going to zoom more into that when we actually know the units and their skills, because currently we just know the units. It's just like, okay, they look like this. Can't really make a video on it. But the moment we know the skills, I can actually do like a review, like, okay, are these skills good? Which units should you aim for? And that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is for it for this video. Hope you enjoyed. If you haven't yet, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And see you as always in the next one.